My son Coulter passed away when he was 8 years old. We didn't find out exactly what he had until after he had passed away. He was a very sick little boy. He needed blood transfusions towards the end almost every other day. We went to the hospital in Atlanta. We had upwards of 20 doctors at one time. The sicker he got, the less we had, and we just made do, and we didn't really ask for help. We were just making do, and we were going to have to go to Cincinnati, Ohio, and they told us a minimum of 3 months we'd be living there, maybe longer, just depended on how things were. And a good friend of Terry's at work, Rebecca Champion, took over for him at work, and while we were gone, she decided she was going to help us, and she got the whole school together and had a fundraising day for us. And it was just incredible to me that the people of this small town would come together to help my child. And in one afternoon, they raised over $20,000 for our family. And we went to Ohio, and we had a place to stay, and it took a huge burden off of our family, because there are times when you have to make difficult decisions. When you lose a child, everybody reacts differently, and one of my fears was that people would forget him. He endured more than a lot of grown people could endure, and I didn't want that to be in vain, and I didn't want that little life to go forgotten. They did it for us, and I wanted them to know they could do it for other people too, that you don't have to know someone intimately to give to them or to make an influence in their lives.
Well, they're going to help me get my son back and forth to his appointments at Scottish Rite. His dad right now is unemployed, and we don't have any income. Just, his Social Security check, most of that goes to paying the rent and lights, and it's just been really hard. And so they stepped up to say that they would help us get him back and forth.
We raise our money through Coulter Hampton Day, usually the second weekend in March. And the community comes together, and we basically have a giant family fun day. And I want people to remember what it's like to love your family for just one day and come and play and, do it for a great cause. And basically we help any child who's in need regardless of their situation or their ability or their disability. We're not only for cancer, and we're not only for, this or that or the other. We take everybody on an individual basis.
And he's had over, I'd say, probably right at 100 surgeries since he's been born. And they said he would always have to have surgeries until he stopped growing, because it pulls his palate from each side of his mouth whenever he grows. I was so excited. I was really, I started crying. I was excited because there are, programs out there that I'd be willing to help.
You cannot put a price on giving someone financial freedom when it comes to their children, and allowing them the freedom to, for a moment, take that weight off their shoulders and letting them breathe and just enjoying their child full on for a little bit. Everybody on our board is a volunteer. No one's a paid employee.
It's just hard. I thought that the only thing out there was my family. And my sister, she helps us a lot, but I didn't know until I talked to Miss Silva about the Coulter Hampton thing.
I think once you see that family, once you get that hug, and when you see that look of relief and, oh my goodness, you're here to help me, you can't turn back from that. You can't go back and say, I don't need to do that anymore. Or, I'm glad I did that once, but I don't, once was enough. It's not enough when you see what it means to them.